visit Progressive.com.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. You can take control of your account management, energy consumption, and more with the MyMTE app. Just download from the App Store and manage your account, improve your energy habits, and more. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936. And joining us today to talk Rutherford County Schools is School Board Chair Shelia Bratton. And first chance to get to chat with you after the holidays. I hope everything went well with that.
It did. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, good to have you here. And I know that this is a busy time. Get those kids back in school finally after that week of snow. What a mess.
It was a mess, but I am going to give kudos to Jimmy Sullivan and the staff at the central office. They were out at 3 o'clock in the morning driving roads. They were making sure that our children and our bus drivers and our teachers and our staff got there safely. It was a mess. Now, the bad thing is, if you read the predicted forecast for the next couple of months, they are saying at least one more huge snowstorm. Wow. So we'll just see.
Yeah.
But we have used 5 of our days. We have 3 left plus an in-service day if we have to use it. So maybe we'll get by with those snow days this year.
What happens if you do use those days?
We have to make them up.
Somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way. In 1492, when I started teaching...
You and Columbus was sailing the ocean blue.
Columbus was there. And we didn't have built-in snow days. That came along a lot later, and I remember the second year I taught, we had to go to school on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I had always, when I was in school, I heard it was almost like a threat, like don't do all the snow dance and stuff because you may have to go on a Saturday.
and they were not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but students have 180 days that they attend, and teachers have 200 days, and the snow days are built in because we go more hours than is required by law. But we have in the past, ever since I was at the central office actually, used some of those days for professional development, which the state allows. Mm-hmm. And that's great because you can get your teachers training on days that they don't have to make up. And the 13 snow days are wonderful, but we don't have 13 left. So there you go.
I do remember having a couple of days of spring break shaven off.
Yes, that is a possibility. Lots of counties do take that break time and perhaps take some of those days back so that you don't have to add them at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And I do think that is a very good option. I do understand Metro has used all their days already.
Oh, wow.
So, yep. We'll just see what happens.
Well, hats off for building in what we hope is enough. And we'll just have to see. Isn't there also some waiver or whatnot from the State Department that because if Rutherford County's in this boat, others are going to be, that maybe they could waive that?
They can do that.
Okay.
They do have that authority. Now, whether or not they will do that, it's hard to say. Yeah. But they do have the authority to waive days out. I know that they've done that for tornado incidences in counties that a tornado hits, you don't have a school, you're just at your wits' end. So they can do that for us.
Yeah. I guess that happened in Wilson County most recently when that tornado a few years ago went through Nashville and Wilson County and destroyed schools in Wilson.
2 schools completely in Wilson. Yes.
They're still trying to recover from that.
Yes, they are.
That is.
Yes, they are.
What a mess.
It is a mess. We are in Tornado Alley, but we have been lucky.
Yes.
Tornadoes have not hit any of our school buildings.
Well, I did want to make sure that we mentioned to all of the staff and support staff at the schools. I drove by. It was a Sunday afternoon when there was still a decision to be made about Monday, just to take some pictures and look at the parking lots at the schools. And I drove by Siegel High School and then at Siegel Middle. And at Siegel Middle, there was someone from the school. Obviously, they were out with a shovel and trying to get that off on a Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. Our people have been out there trying to make it safe for kids to come in, but I really think it was the best decision to close on Monday also. And the 2 hour late. I know 2 hour late is a burden. It's a burden for parents. You've got to scramble. You've got to get your kids there at a time you're not used to. But it did allow for some melting to take place. And so we were fine.
Yeah. And 2 hour, it was mentioned well enough in advance. And if things don't melt like we anticipate, then we have the option to close. And that's something I don't know that we've ever done, but it's smart.
Well, I think we were very transparent.
Oh, yeah.
I think we let people know in plenty of time. This is communicated in many different ways. Besides just calling the parents, it usually appears on our It appears on the radio, but it also appears on our webpage, and there's just a lot of really good communication that's come from the central office, and I know it's appreciated by parents.
Yeah, very much so. Well, the school board has been fairly busy here of late with the Beatty Farm land, and I know that there was a meeting last night, school board meeting. Can you tell us a little bit what was decided at that last night?
We are in the process of finishing up the bids for the school. That's something that takes a long time to finalize. We have named a committee, or I have named a committee that will be the naming committee. I don't know if you know that we have committees made up of the school board member that represents the district that the school is in, plus some community members, and usually a principal or a teacher in that area, to name the school, to pick the mascot, and to name the colors. So I have named a naming committee for Beatty. I have named a naming committee for the new Roy Waldron Annex that we're working on that's going to become a alternative school. And we have Church Street. We have bought a building on Church Street, 814 South Church as we call it. And that's also going to be an alternative school. And all the naming committees have been named, and they will be meeting and coming up with some good suggestions about what we can call all of these institutions.
Oh, very good. So you mentioned Beatty, and that's just referring to the Beatty Farm property.
The property, yes.
Okay.
Yes, the property was brought to us by John L. and Melissa Beatty on the Beatty Farms. Thank Wilbur the pig, folks. And so that's not the name of the school. It's just the Beatty property.
Yeah,
you got to have something to refer to.
Right.
And the school board is in the process of looking for land all the time. We are constantly trying to find land in the right place, and that will be in the north end of the county at the present time, because we really need a new high school. But a new high school takes a lot of acreage, and we have to find a place that's situated in the right place to help relieve Laverne High School. And we're still looking. We go out and look at land pretty frequently, but it's a long process. Will it work? Will the roads work? Thank God we have Trey Lee, who takes care of those things like, will it perk? That's important. Does it have sewer? Are the roads good? It's not just go look at a piece of land. There's infrastructure that has to be with that piece of land, and so we have to look, and we're in the process of looking right now. And if anybody has any land they feel like in the Smyrna Laverne area they would like to sell us, please contact Jeff Reed or Trey Lee.
So the Smyrna Laverne area is definitely the next place for a high school.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We continue to grow in that area. We are putting in our additions that we've mentioned many times, but there will be an addition at Smyrna High School. But Smyrna High School has 17 portables.
Mm-hmm.
That's astronomical. That's terrible. And fortunately, we have an addition going in there. We have an addition going in at Riverdale and an addition at Oakland. That's why we had to do the giant rezoning that we recently did.
Now, so I had been talking with some folks that know what's going on at the Smyrna High School, and the name doesn't matter, but several of them mentioned that it is quite possible to open up Smyrna and the new addition and still have to have portables. That's how many kids are there. Would that be right?
I'm sorry to say that's highly possible.
That's wild.
With the addition that we are putting there, it's not like we are getting a place for more students to go into. We are getting a place for the students they have to go into.
Mm-hmm. And more are coming every day.
And more. I mean, our school system is extremely popular, as you well know. People are moving in here constantly. We are an affordable county. If you're looking for a house, you may not think that's true, but we are much more affordable than some of the surrounding counties. We have a low tax base, and we have a level 5 outstanding school district, as well as an outstanding city district. And so why wouldn't you come? Why wouldn't you come to Middle Tennessee that's so conveniently located?
So a school, you mentioned in the Smyrna Laverne area, would a school that's more in the Smyrna area or land more in the Smyrna area than Laverne help Laverne? I guess maybe it would take a few that are in the Smyrna side that go to Laverne High School, maybe.
We would have
rezoning again. Yeah. That dreaded word.
Really, it's hard to say.
It's almost like a cuss word for a school board member.
It is almost like something that you just don't want to come out of your mouth, because rezoning is gut-wrenching. Yeah. It's gut-wrenching for students. It's gut-wrenching for parents. It's gut-wrenching for staff and teachers, because sometimes when we do this changing, we have to move staff. But it's also gut-wrenching for your board members. I know that people think, they're just sitting up there making a decision. Many hours are spent looking at this. And as you well know, we got a third party to come in and look at all of our schools, all of our capacity, all of our zoning, to try to come up with the best option. We have voted on an option, but we also put in a caveat. The caveat is we will go back and look at this again 9 months before you start moving students to see, did we do the right thing? Is this where people need to go? Do we need to tweak? So they're going to come back and look at that. I won't be on that board at the time, but the new board will make a good decision on that.
Well, and the thing about that, Shelia Bratton is here with us, Rutherford County School Board Chair. When that is done, as soon as it's done, it's almost out of date.
That's true.
I mean, because you can do your best to predict where growth is going to be, but it's just a prediction.
Yeah, and that's all you can do. Even though you study the growth patterns, you study the demographics, you study where new subdivisions are going in, it is still just a prediction. It's kind of like weather.
Yeah.
We're just meteorologists trying to figure out if it's going to be 1 inch of snow or 13 inches of snow. So, yes, it is just a prediction, but I do like this caveat of coming back and exploring it again just to make sure that it's what's needed at the time. It won't be forever. If we could get a good 3 to 4 years out of it, it would be a miracle.
Yeah. We also just popped into my mind, and I think I know the answer to this, but if
Let's hope I do.
if crowding is in trying to alleviate Laverne and some of the overcrowding that's there, why not add an addition to Laverne? But I don't think there's any room at Laverne for a building.
Yes, there is.
Is there?
And
okay.
we're in the process of doing that.
All right. Well, good.
We will be, of course, we have to take it before our fantastic county commission, but they seem to be very much in favor of us also adding an addition at Laverne. That is in the works. It is something that we have been exploring. Even with addition at Laverne, we still need a high school between Laverne and Smyrna High, somewhere in that area.
So will the possible addition at Laverne be something that is looked at for the next budget that will be voted on?
Yes.
Okay. Good to know. And we'll see. So you've got the 3 that are going now, and
Yes.
then possibly Laverne. So that
Yes.
helps. That's only really a Band-Aid, though. You
It is
still
a
need a school.
Band-Aid for a gaping wound.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And Francis and I were talking on the last show about, the last high school was built in 2019, and that was Rockvale.
That's correct, which was overcrowded the second year they were there.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had to rezone for that. And
We have to rezone all the time, but yes, we did.
and so that was built for somewhere around 80 million.
Yes,
Ish.
but
But a new high school is going to cost maybe 180 million.
maybe
not
not
that
much. But the costs are astronomical, and building costs are astronomical, and things are not going down. Land's not going down. Building costs are not going down. So the sooner we can get things squared away with architectural fees, land acquisitions, infrastructure, roads again, sewer, all those kinds of things that we have to do, the sooner we can get those numbers steady, the better off we're going to be.
Would it, would you take the blueprints for Rockvale and use that? Is that really a money savings kind of thing?
Yes, it is a money savings.
Okay.
We do, that's what we've been doing
Yeah.
for years. We've been taking blueprints that we already have and tweaking them. One of the things that Trey Lee does that makes me so happy is once we build a school, then he goes back in and he says to the principal, tell me what works, tell me what didn't work, and let me see what I can change. But the general footprint we do use over and over again. In fact, mentioning Laverne, we will use the general drawings for Smyrna and take them to Laverne. Then we will go in and let Theo Hatchett, the principal, look at that and say, this is good here. Could we change this here? If we could adjust, I'd like something so-and-so here. That's what we did for the additions at the other 3 schools. We got the footprint.
Yeah, and what makes that work is if you look at Smyrna High School and Laverne High School, they're when they were built, they were the same originally, almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Now they've changed greatly. Laverne has added on before, but and I still can't find my way around Laverne High School. I've been in it a million times, but it has some twists and turns in it that Smyrna does not have.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to let our time get away before I give you a chance to give a plug for Jazz Fest. It
Yes.
should be soon. I'm ready for spring.
April 27th will be Jazz Fest. We are now seeking sponsorships for Jazz Fest. Last year was extremely successful. The fountains have been so generous in their offerings and helping us out and giving us use, and it was just a lovely place to have it. I want to give a shout out to Tammy Sharp that I made the community liaison, and she has been working hard on this. If anybody wants to talk to us about a sponsorship, please give Tammy Sharp a call.
Okay. And if you go to rcschools.net, you can find the school board and all the communications and emails and phone numbers and such there. Very good.
Absolutely.
Well, it looks like there's a busy time ahead between now. I'm sure budgets are going to get, there's conversations.
We will be starting into budget season very soon. Dr. Sullivan always presents every line of the budget to us and to the public. You know exactly what's going on and what we are seeking. We will be, again, aiming for maintenance of effort, and that's it, and a balanced budget. Both of those things we had last year, and the County Commission was very happy about that.
Yeah. Miss Shelia, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome, Mr. Bryan. Thank you.
Shelia Bratton, Rutherford County School Board Chair, joining us here on Rutherford Issues. If you missed part of the program, go to wgnsradio.com/listen and see how you can listen back on demand.
Hello friends, Lenny Farmer with Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home. More than I can count, we have taken care of families who were totally caught off guard with the passing of a loved one.